Hello everybody, and welcome to the video notes for Unit 2, Day 11. And in today's exercise, we are continuing with multiplying decimals. And in these examples, we're going to have decimals in both numbers that we're multiplying with. Today's video is dedicated to Mani in 6A. Hi Mani. Let's take a look at number 1. We're doing 3.9, so that's 3 wholes and 9 tenths, times 2.6, which is 2 wholes and 6 tenths. And just like we did yesterday, we're first going to estimate by rounding each number to the first digit. And the reason why we're estimating is so that we can first get an idea of around what number our final answer should be. 3.9, the first number is in the ones place. So we're going to round this to the nearest 1. 3.9. 9 is greater than 5, so it's going to round up. So 3 rounds up to 4 times 2.6. 2 is in the ones place, so we're going to round it to the ones digit. 6 is also greater than 5, so it's going to round up. So 2.6 rounds up to the next number, 3. 4 times 3 equals 12. So our final answer is going to be something close to or around 12. Let's solve it now. Let's line up our numbers to the right. That's step number 1, anytime we're multiplying decimals. So we have 3.9 times 2.6. And then we're going to start with the 6 here and multiply the 6 times each of the numbers in the top. So 6 times 9 is 54, so we'll put a 4 here, carry the 5 over. 6 times 3 is 18, plus the 5 we carried over. 18 plus 5 is 23, so we'll write that in here. And then we're going to multiply the 2 times each of these numbers here, and since we're changing the place value, we're going to add a 0. 2 times 9 is 18, so we put an 8 here and carry the 1 over. And then 2 times 3 is 6 plus the 1 that we carried over, which would give us 7. So now we're going to add these up. 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 8 is 11. So we're going to do 1 here, carry the 1. 2 plus 7 is 9, and then plus the 1 we carried over. 9 plus 1 is 10. So now we have 1014. And based off of our estimate, which was 12, you should actually already be able to tell where we should put our decimal back in. Right? Where can we put our decimal that would make this number as close as possible to 12? Right? Well, if we put it here, that'd be 101. Too much. Bring it over. 10.14. Right? That would be closer. If we went here, it would be 1.014, which is too much. So 10.14. So that's one way you can figure out where to put the decimal by estimating. But another way is, if we go back to our steps, we multiplied each digit. Good, we did that. You can count how many numbers you have after the decimal. That's what we did yesterday. But now we have to count in both numbers. In this number, we have one number after the decimal. In the second number, 2.6, we also have one number after the decimal. So in total, we have 2 numbers after the decimal. So count how many numbers you have after the decimals, both decimals. Then move the decimal in your answer to the left that many spaces. So we had 2 total numbers after the decimals, 1 here, 1 here. So we would start at the end and bring the decimal back 2 places. 1, 2, now we have 10.14. Let's try one more. But first, it sounds like we might need some gold coins. Good job to us. Let's read the problem. Fatima earns $11.50 per hour at her job. Okay, so we have a word problem, so we're going to annotate. Underline the math clues. Okay, earns $11.50 per hour. All right. How much will she earn if she works 13.5 hours? Let's double underline what the problem's asking us to find. How much will she earn if she works 13.5 hours? So how much will she earn? That's what we're trying to find. So first I can think to myself, what kind of math operation do I need here? Well, if you earn this much every 1 hour, and you're doing that 13.5 times over, it's like you're multiplying 13.5 times 11.5. So we know we want to do 11.50 times 13.5. Right? Notice how I'm not lining up the decimals. That's what we do for adding and subtracting. But for multiplying, we line up the numbers to the right here. Let's estimate first. 1150. So the 1, the first digit, is in the tens place. So we're going to round this to the nearest 10. 11 rounds down. So it's going to round down to 10 times 13.5. So 1 is the first digit. It's in the tens place. We're going to round to the nearest 10. 3 is the next digit. 3 is less than 5, so it's also going to round down. And so 13 rounds down to the nearest 10, which is 10. So it's going to be 10 times 10. And 10 times 10 is 100. So our answer is going to be somewhere near 100. Let's multiply. Starting with this 5 here. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. So I'll put a 5 here. Carry the 2 over here. 5 times 1 is 5. Plus the 2 we carried over. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then 5 times 1 on the very left is 5. Next number, we add a 0 first, because now we're changing the place value. 3 times 0 is 0. 3 times 5 is 15. Carry the 1 over. 3 times 1 is 3, plus the 1 we carried over, which is 4. And 3 times 1 again is 3. Last digit is this 1. Now we're 2 places over, so we have to add 2 zeros. 1 times 0 is another 0. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Add all of this up. All the zeros add up to another 0. 5 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. 7 plus 5 is 12. 2 here. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 5 is 15. Carry the 1 over. 1 plus 3 is 4 plus 1, which is 5. And then the 1. Okay. 1, 5, 1, 5, 5, 2, 5, 0. And already from our answer, from our estimate, right, we can guess that the decimal is probably going to go right between this 5 and 2, because 155.250 is closest to 100. But let's do it this way too, right? How many numbers do we have after the decimal? 1, 2 here, and then 1 in this number. 2 numbers in this are after the decimal, and then 1 number of this in this 13.5 is after the decimal. So altogether, 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimal. Let's move it back 3 places. 1, 2, 3 goes right there. And so our final answer is 155.25. The 0 at the end, we can just drop that, because all zeros after the decimal, you can just drop. And what's our units? Well, it was how much will she earn? She's earning dollars. She will earn $155.25. 3 gold stars for us. And now I think we're ready to level up. So, you guessed it. It says, now you try. So, now let's try. Pause the video. And try number 3 and number 4 on your own. Remember, you're learning the most when you're trying to do as much as you can before just copying down the notes from me. And resume the video after you've finished. And now you've tried on your own, number 3 and number 4, and you are just resuming the video to check your work. Let's check it. Oh, need to find a pen that works. Okay. Estimate 4.6 times 12.8. 4 rounds to 5. 12.8 rounds up or rounds down to 10. So 5 times 10, that means 50. Our answer is going to be something close to 50. Let's write it out. I'm going to do it over here so there's more space. I'm going to write the number that has more digits on top. That's a little bit easier for me personally. So I'll do 12.8 times 4.6, right? Remember to line up the numbers to the right. Let's multiply 6 to each of these digits. 6 times 8 is 48. Bring the 4 over. 6 times 2 is 12, plus the 4, which gives us 16. Carry the 1. 6 times 1 is 6, plus the 1, which gives us 7. Next row, add a 0 first. 4 times 8 is 32. Put the 2 here. Carry the 3. 4 times 2 is 8, plus the 3 that we got here, which is 8 plus 3 is 11. Put a 1 here, carry the 1 over. 4 times 1 is 4, plus the 1 we carried over is 5. Let's add it all up. 8 plus 0 is 8. 6 plus 2 is also 8. 7 plus 1 is 8, and we have a 5. We count how many numbers do we have after the decimals. We have one number after the decimal here, and another after the decimal here. Altogether, that's 2 numbers. Decimal starts on the right. Let's bring it over 2 spaces. 58.88, is that kind of close to our estimate, 50? Yes. So 58.88 is our answer. If you got that, boom. Give yourself a check and 3 gold stars. Let's check the next one. Karina spends $11.25 on food each week. Okay, so $11.25. Math clue, underline it. How much will she spend in 7.5 weeks? How much will she spend in 7.5 weeks? That's what we're going to double underline because that's what it's asking us to find. Let's estimate. $11.25. We're going to round up to the tens. 11 is going to round down to 10, so we have 10 times. How many weeks are we doing this for? 7.5. Round it to the nearest 1. 7.5, because it's a 5. 5 or greater always rounds up, so 7 is going to round up to 8. 10 times 8 is, well, 1 times 8 is 8. Add the 0 back in. 80. So our answer is going to be something close to 80. Let's multiply it out. 11.25 times 7.5. Okay, let's multiply the 5 to each of the numbers first. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry the 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 we carried over, which is 12. Carry the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1, which gives us 6. 5 times 1 at the end is 5. Next number, add a 0 first. 7 times 5 is 35. Carry the 3 over. 7 times 2 is 14, plus the 3, which is 17, sorry. And then 7 times 1 is 7, plus the 1 we carried over, which is 8. And then 7 times 1 is 7. Add it all up. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 5 is 7. 6 plus 7 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6. 6 plus 8 is 14. Carry the 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. We have 8, 4, 3, 7, 5. Count how many numbers we have after the decimal. 1, 2 numbers here, and a third number here. So 1, 2, 3 numbers after the decimals total. So we're going to go back to the left 3 places. 1, 2, 3. We would go right there. So our final answer is 84.375. Is this kind of close to our estimate, which was 80? Yes. Oh, what's our units? Well, she spends dollars, and we want to know how much will she spend. So it's $84 and 30.375. And actually in this case, because you can't have 0.375 cents, we have to round it to the nearest penny. So we have $84 and then 37, rounding up to the nearest penny, it's going to round up, so that's 38 cents. $84.38. All right, if you got that all on your own, 5 gold coins for you, and you are all leveled up. What you're going to do now is rate yourself first. So circle one of these based off of how you did on this try your own part. And then you're going to put your computer away, and if you finish early, you can get a start on your homework.